Hello everyone and welcome to RNG University. On tonight's episode, I'm trying a new domain deck. This time, this domain deck, instead of Invasion of Zendikar, it runs Bury in the Garden. It's like an invasion, except instead of just ramp, it only ramps one mana instead of 2 mana, but it gives a removal into the deck. So Bury in the Garden is kind of like a Leyline Binding type removal. It's sorcery speed, but it exiles a permanent until Bury in the Garden leaves. And also, the land gets to tap for an additional mana. So Bury in the Garden plus Leyline Binding give us 8 enchantment removals in the deck. Along with that, we also have Temporary Lockdown to lock down wide boards, and Archangel of Wrath to gain life and deal damage to little pesky creatures. So the rest of the domain deck is pretty standard. We got 4, actually no, we also added in 4 Lightning Helix to gain life and deal damage against early game cards, and also as a burst damage towards end game. The rest of the deck is pretty standard. Of course, nowadays, everyone slot in 1 Imodain Recruiter to aggro our opponent with her migration with 10 mana. On this kind of deck, you can definitely get there. 4 Topiary Stompers, of course, to get lands in the early game. Then we have 3... Okay, let's talk about it card by card, right? 2 drop, we have Lightning Helix. 4 off. 3 drop, we have 2 Lockdowns for wide boards. 1 Recruiter, we never play as a 3. On turn 3, we are going to hold off until we can combo it with her migration. And then we have 4 Topiary Stompers for ramp. On the 4 drop, we have 4 Archangel of Wrath and 4 Bury in the Garden. Thing about Archangel of Wrath, it's technically a 5 or 6 drop, right? You really only want to play her as a 4 drop when you need it for the lifelink as a blocker. Then on the 5 drop, we have 3 Sunfalls, and in the 6 drop, we have Leyline Binding. That's technically a 1 drop if we can get all the domains to trigger. Otherwise, it's a 6 drop, right? Then the 7 drop, Her Migration, also doubles as a 2 mana cycle to get a land from the deck and a 7 mana Atraxa for the end game card. So then the land base is going to be 2 plains, 1 island, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 2 forests, and 4 Cavern of Souls for the single color land base. These basic lands are necessary to fetch out for Topiary Stomper, and then the Cavern of Souls are necessary to make sure our Atraxa or Archangel of Wrath doesn't get countered. 1 Battlefield Forge because we have some red, white mana spells, and then the rest are our dual lands. 1 Raffine Tower, 1 Xander Lounge, 4 Zeator's Proving Ground, and 4 Jetmir's Garden, 4 Spara Headquarter, all of this to help us trigger the domain necessary for her migration and Leyline Binding. That's the new domain deck. Now let's go into the games to see how they do. Alright, our next opponent is Bossy Lady. And there's 13 of them. Well, we got Topiary Stomper in lockdown, so maybe we can get this to work. Let's try it. We'll start with Spara Headquarter into a Proving Ground. I think that will at least get us enough mana. Or do I go to the Garden? Right? The Garden gives me 2 white. I might need 2 white. We're going first. So against Mono Red, going at least on going first, we have more of a tempo play. But we're going to take a buttload of damage. And on that buttload of damage, I guess we'll stomp into 4 lands. See what they play. Yeah, all we've drawn are lands so far, so... Let's stomp into... a black mana, maybe? So I need 2 white and 2 green, right? I have 2 white. I might need another green. I don't know how much of this matters. I'm going to take a lot of damage this turn because I have no blockers, thanks to the Topiary Stomper being slow. Alright, Swiss Fear is okay. I don't like it. I'll take a lot of damage for it. But at the very least, there's Festivity or 1 card, just to deal an extra 1 damage. We're at 8. We are at 8. So we played a Proving Ground. So let's see, we'll lock down, play the Proving Ground, and then we will be able to... So I should have gotten a white. That was dumb. In this scenario, I think I played this better. Right, now to cost 1, I want to lock down everything. And then I have a Leyline Binding in case they have something big. I'll have to take 1, but taking 1 against something big is okay. Then we'll have 2 Topiary Stompers to block. Alright, take that mono red. Alright, we're playing against Eduardo Brida. Somebody just used their name. We get to go first. 2 Atraxas! That'll be fun. Without any ramp, 2 Atraxas. No. Alright, this has an Atraxa. 2 Caverns. And then a Her Migration. So we'll keep... You know what's funny? I'm going to put back a Sunfall. Because this will help me ramp to the berry. Maybe? No. That'd be kind of crazy. Do I put back a Sunfall? Definitely don't want to put back a land. Right? I need the lands. But maybe I'll draw lands. Maybe I'll draw lands in a 26 land deck. Not likely. Siren. Alright. Already on top of us. So. Angels. We're going to pass the turn. And then we're going to look for a white land with Permigate. Feel free to take a card. All of these cards are good, and none of those cards are useful to me right now. Take the Binding. Well, if I had named Dinosaur, it would have been different. Mind Link back. I didn't name Dinosaur, so the mech will be live. It'll be a 4-3 attacking me. Alright, we get the Bloodletter. So now the bat's screwing a 4-3 bat with lifelink. Yeesh. What are we gonna get here, huh? No other place. You have a counterspell for this? They usually do, right? But they didn't this time. I want to take out the 4-3, but I also want to take out the bats. They didn't counter it. This 4-3 is scary. That's what's going to kill me in a few turns. Malcolm. Doesn't protect the Mind Link, so... Now I have 6 mana. Creature, that's good, sort of, for me. He knows I have Sunfall, so why would he play into that? Draws and discards. Then what's the plant field? That is... Big Sunfall target. I also have Leyline Binding live this time. Malcolm, okay. Pass to attackers. So, the Bloodletter is scary, but I don't want that let Malcolm live, so I'm gonna try to remove it. He lets that go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Atraxa time. Can't be countered. Pretty big creature. You remove that and then does something else with it, but this will give me so many cards. I don't actually care once it does that. Get the Helix, get Archangel, get Leyline Binding. Let me take another land that's not going to come into play this turn. So I want to take one that has white. Right? I already have a Spara, so let me get a Jetmir Garden. Only 4 cards. The 4 is better than 0. Bloodletter, he can see the Lightning Helix, so that wasn't a smart play at all. It was just, every play of that was wrong. Oh well. Alright, next opponent, Tatsumi. That's a name. Opponent goes first. We got Stomper and Migration, so I should keep, but if they're aggro, we're just out. Not aggro yet. Alright, Xander's Lounge. No, Spara Headquarter next. Again. That's... No, Jetmir Garden's better. Doesn't give the Leyline Binding life, but takes a turn in anyways. Creature. annoying, but I can handle a creature with a binding. Excuse me there. Let's see what you are gonna do. Did he just go into combat? If they just go into combat, I will take out their creature here. Interesting Rakdos opponent. Doesn't play anything. So I will Topiary Stomp into... I have a lot of mana. I don't think it matters too much, but I will take a green. Or no, I'll take a white. Every card in my hand is either white or green, so I'll just take a white mana. That's 5 mana. It's gonna make a Mirror token. Okay, Mirror token it is. I have a Sunfall against this Mirror tokens if I want to. Oh, Alcatraz. The good thing about Alcatraz is that it will be gone after the Sunfall. Never coming back. I'll play another Jetmir Garden probably. And we're almost at 7. Right? All tap lands all the time. Trumpeting Carnosaur, scary. Discover 5. Discovers a bloodthirsty adversary. Less scary now. Is this trample? It is trample. I don't want to have to work to deal with that. Do I? Oh, I have to play this land for sure. And then I can Archangel twice to deal... Well, I have to Archangel twice, right? And then I take the 7. That's a lot of damage. I have to do it. Go up to 21. I take 7. Go down to 14. Not the end of the world. Archangel's lifelink, so I'm going to gain life for some time. Shieldred. Not blocking there. Right, I can take out the Shieldred. Then I can take out the Trumpeting Carnosaur. But is that what I want to do this turn? Maybe I'll just draw first. Okay, so I guess that's what I'm doing. Definitely taking out the Shieldred. And we turn this sideways. Let's turn these cards sideways. Guess we're racing. Path of Peril. Did they kick it? Destroy all creature. That includes his own creature? Sure. No, okay, no, he didn't kick it. I couldn't tell at all whether it's cleaved or not. So weird. Do they want to activate anything? If they don't, I will... I mean, I'm going to Leyline Bind this. A lot of Leyline Binding on his creatures. He has 2 mountains. I'm not scared of mountains. Cycle this for a card. Cavern of Souls. More useless cards. I mean, the way he tosses Path of Peril out like that makes me think he has another one. So let's not just go willy-nilly and throw out our Her Migrations yet. I do have, you know, a cycle to use. Gix. That's real good. He gets a free draw off of that. Let's see if I can get something with this. Maybe a Lightning Helix? Maybe a... okay, hold on a second. Yeah. Maybe a Lightning Helix? Huh? Huh? How many cards am I drawing? Okay. Nope. Just lands. Am I drawing anything that's not lands this game? Or Leyline Binding? Literally the whole deck is not showing up, just lands. It's all lands. These games are either all lands or no lands, huh? Alright, let's go to my turn here. Oh, the irony. The irony is not lost on me. You want to take that? You do take that, so... Well, pretty sure he just wants to Path of Peril this. Yeah, it has to have the appropriate lands for a good. Say hello to my whiteboard. There's that Path of Peril for all creatures that I care about. Where else is it going? Creature of the Schism. That's interesting. You have 1 mountain left. Here, you want to take the damage? I'll even not block. Yeah. No? Go to my turn. Still lands. Watch for all the land draws that I have. Here, I'm gonna choose plant. Take that. My plant dinosaur will definitely kill you. This is just the worst draw. Still got there because of Archangel. Just because I fly. Angels fly. Alright, our opponent's gonna be Barlow. Barlow? Low bar. Alright, mono red. Pretty low bar, to be fair. We go first with a Proving Ground and a Forest. The only thing we don't have, actually we have 2 things we don't have, right? Definitely playing a Proving Ground first, but what we don't have is Her Migration to play next turn, or a white for Leyline Binding. Either of those would be very preferred. In fact, a white would be very helpful for a Lightning Helix as well. But we don't have any of that, so we're just gonna have to wait this out. We'll play an Island. Lower the Leyline Binding down to 1, or down to 2, but still not going to help for even this turn. Because we have the Topiary Stomper for a white mana. At least these are bad openers, I guess. But we'll Topiary Stomper for a white mana. Now we're going to take those damages. Let the damages roll in, right? I don't have a second white to really play the spells I want. This game I got 2 Atraxas. Usually I don't draw any Atraxas. Charming Scoundrel, that's charming of you. You want a Wicked roll? Wicked. Another Kumano? Yeah, just back to back to back Kumano. That definitely hurts me. Low bar for sure. Do you know you can attack there? Alright, did you think that I was gonna be able to block with a Topiary Stomper? Is that what was going on? Anyways, let's just kick it for some damage, right? I fly. Against mono red, I'm at 34. Did you think that 4/4 was gonna block? You want to put another row here? That would make it a 4/4. Huh? Huh? Would you like to be a bad Magic player? Guess that's the question. I mean, they didn't run their 33 into a 4/4 unblockable, or not unblockable, can't block creature. So like maybe they think that I still can't block. I don't know. No idea. Doesn't matter. I am not going back. Because if it's a race you want, it's a race you're gonna get. One of these days I'll get to 7 lands. Topiary Stomper is really not that good without Invasion of Zendikar. This is what I've noticed with this deck. Witchstalker Frenzy. You realize it's a 4/4 can't block, right? It didn't even attack before Witchstalker Frenzy. It's just all of the proper plays. Let's remove one of those. I'll take the 1. And then we'll bind the other one. I'll take another 1, but that removes all the damage down to just 4. We'll play another Topiary Stomper. Let's get a red mana out. This guy basically never played Magic before in his life. He has no idea how to play this deck or how to play this game. Queue up with mono red anyways because he copied it somewhere. Looked to Magic untap.gg, see that this is the top tier deck, went and paid for it, and said he's going to win every game. Unfortunately, as he found out, he's losing every game. Yeah. Lightning Strike that. You have another Lightning Strike? 3 is not equal to 4. There you go. Now you got the damage in. The question is, what can I draw that's bad here, right? Because almost every card I draw will be good. A land turns on Topiary Stomper and also allows me to play Atraxa. So what could be bad? I guess nothing. I guess nothing. Still have Leyline Binding Life. They get 1 top deck. I don't know why they're playing this game, or why they're still in this game, I should say. Because it's bad. It's really bad. They had to win. If they didn't play like an idiot, they probably would have had to win. They didn't even have a pet. What am I saying? Anyone who doesn't have a pet probably does not know how to play Magic, because, you know, you have not played this game long enough. There's a Feldon. All in attack. You got it. I will block one of them. And I'll get rid of the other one. I'm at 16 on turn like 9, so I don't think this deck is ever going to get anywhere. We'll get an Archangel, a Buried in a Garden. Finally. You stayed long enough for that game. Okay, our next opponent is the Pinto Burrito. Well, that's a name. We get to go first. Now, look at those Leyline Bindings. Jesus. Will they ever get these Leyline Bindings live? This is a bindable hand. No card draw. Definitely can't get the binding live within reasonable time, but why would I play a reasonable game, right? Never have I ever. Hello. Black. A green land. Green land. So let's play this. This is already green. I don't need more green. Deep Cavern back. Hey, guess what I have? I guess you'll see it. This is ridiculous. Pick one. I got 3 of a kind. If I draw a Bury in a Garden, I have a full house next turn. Does that mean I win? Really? That's a decision that'll take that long? Oh, this is interesting. So I actually got a good card. So this way I can reduce the Leyline Binding a little bit by getting a different color mana, which in this case I will take black. I think Atraxa requires blue, but I can get blue from Cavern of Souls. So Stomper did its thing. Whatever they play next can be buried in a garden. Unless it's Liliana. Oh, Liliana's probably the worst play here against me. There it is. So I will pitch
Nobody
Cavern.
knows Dominaria shadows like me.
I probably sacrifice a creature. Wow, that is
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
that is not what I expected. I can shoot down Liliana with Archangel now, which I will do. Post haste. Don't know why they did that, but happy that they did.
Fine.
Maybe they haven't
I'll
learned
take my
Liliana. Who
zombies
knows?
and leave.
But these top decks have been on curve. Clutch. I've never played a game where the top decks are clutch, so I don't actually know what I'm doing here. These Deep Cavern Bats, a Billows Skullwilder. I mean, they're not really templing me into anything, so I'm not as worried about much of what's going on. I'm gonna target this forest. Don't know why I did that. Does not help at all. This tap is weird. Alright, we'll take your Deep Cavern Bat. And I'll get 7 mana. The deck is raised to 7, right? Once you have 7, everything else can work. I don't know why I left Cavern of Souls up. I guess I would have left the Battlefield Forge up, but it didn't. And And now I'm gonna be behind on a whole mana every turn because of this stupid. This Magic Arena, just you gotta watch out for the auto tapper. It's so bad. It basically will kill any game plan you have. I think our opponent knows I have 3 Leyline Binding, so they're not playing anything for a long, long time. Nothing impactful into the deck or into the game. I'm not gonna let them attack, of course. So we'll take their Preacher. They have some reactions, probably removal, like go for the throw, but those do not hurt me. I might die to the poison if it takes that long. I have drawn 8 lands in 8 turns straight, even with these cycling lands. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. But you never know in these kind of situations. See? Oh, you know what I need? The 4th Leyline Binding. That is an impactful card. They play their Takenuma, which means they're not getting back the Liliana. That might also be important. Yeah, they can see all these Leyline Bindings. They don't know what to do. Guess what? I also don't know what to do. I mean, I think the Lightning Helix is okay against the Skull Welder. It's not really much I want to deal. Virtue. Alright. I mean, it's pretty obvious what I have to do. So, 8 games straight? Or 8 turns straight, you say? I mean, I guess the Billow Skull Wilder's out, so I have maybe more than 8 turns? They're definitely drawing better than me. They got their Skull Wilder. Or I got land. I'll take a Skull Wilder over land here. Come on. Alright, we draw land, land, Helix, land. More lands. Oh, yes. How did I know? Basically another land. Let's, I don't know. Humans, angels. What's the name angels? Most of the deck is angels. I have 3 exact removal. They have 3 exact cards. Maybe something will happen. I don't want them to have a 1/1, so I'll take that out. Oh, look, more lands. Fantastic draws. Lands or mana for lands, right? You know there's Atraxas in this deck? I didn't. If it was up to me, this deck would just be lands. Why would I have anything else? Surveil a land, good for you. I wish I could surveil a land. A Sunfall against a Fairy Dream Thief. What does it actually do? It's just exile from graveyard and draw a card and lose 1 life, right? I can take some damage from it. But they can have Gix. If they have Gix, do I just exile the Gix? That feels bad. Do I Sunfall this to get a 1/1? Will they get a white board in this deck? That's really questionable. You know what? I need more mana. Right? It should be pretty obvious I need more mana. So I'm going to take your card out so that I can have more mana. That makes sense, right? I think that makes sense. What is... Playing this Domain deck is breaking my brain here. Please play a Shieldred or something. There's Gix. I knew it. Alright, they got a Gix. They have no other place. Arena? What the heck? Why did you do this? Why did you leave me with this land and 2 caverns open? I have no creatures. Damn, stupid auto tappers, I swear. This is the worst thing ever. It's It's not nice, okay? It's not. Just leave it alone. I'm already salty enough. What is this crap? 4 Leyline Binding? You gotta cut down? Alright, you're gonna cut this down. Finally! Jesus! Alright, let's name, I guess... I want to keep my red mana open. And I want to keep my... Why did I keep a red mana open? It makes no sense. Anyways, I want to keep my white mana open for sure. And this way I can play Atraxa. No, I want this to be a white mana, and I want this to be a black mana, so I can tap this for a... whatever. Thinking too long hurts my brain. Here's an Atraxa that I wanted, here's a berry that I wanted, I want a plane so I can play my stuff, and then a Sunfall. Here you can remove this Atraxa now. Now we're playing a game. 5,000 turns later, right? It's just, this deck is all about drawing Atraxas. Against aggro, I draw like 7. I guess we return 2. What does he have? I guess just a Bill of Skull Welder. $33 cards left. I don't even know how I dropped this many cards only to be left with 1 Atraxa and 4. Count them. 4 Leyline Binding. Skull Welder. I get another Atraxa. You want to keep playing this out? Let's get a tap land now. Zender Lounge maybe. Her Migration will be helpful. That's really all I get. 3 cards. Alright, I'll play a Forest Owl so I can cycle it if I need to. I mean to cycle the Zender Lounge to get to a useful card. I don't need more lands. There you go. That took long enough. Mono Black's no match for this deck. Alright, welcome back everyone. Now that you've seen these games, I'm pretty sure you are impressed by this deck, but what you may not see on the backside of it is how many games I have to auto quit just because, oh boy, I draw Atraxa opening hand, 4 Atraxa, 3 Atraxa opening hand, mulligan, draw, all the Leyline Binding with none of the lands, or maybe I draw, all of these aggressive, counter-aggressive cards, Leyline Binding, Lightning Helix, our opponent's playing blue-white control, and just counter every spell we play, and by the time we get to play Atraxa, we have like 12 cards left in the deck. Those games are not fun, and of course not included in the video, but overall, this deck has about a 50% win rate, so not a good deck. Honestly, I don't like this deck that much. It's an okay deck, and if you want to play Domain, this is definitely another version of Domain you can try out if the old one with the Invasion of Zendikar is getting stale. But in my opinion, I don't like Domain decks because it doesn't have enough interaction. It tries to press the initiative on your own side by playing these very hefty spells, right? The Atraxa is a very hefty spell. Her Migration is a very hefty spell. But there's a lot of disruption that can stop it, and then there are decks that are like the land deck that even if you go off, they don't care because they will just gain so much life, and it will also rage your whole deck, or your whole life point. So with that said, this deck, you can catch your opponent off guard with an Immolde Recruiter or burst them with a Lightning Helix. Other than that, it's still better with the original Domain shell. And overall, every time I play Domain, I have a feeling that this is a deck that everybody likes, but it does not do well. Best of 1, best of 3, it does not do well because it's very easy to counter, very easy to stop. And if you just play a controller metagame or a controller type deck, you can just wait out all the threats and then the deck will run out of threats, right? So that's what I feel about in terms of this deck. That's really all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.